The SmackDown quarters are in, and CM Punk just did that. He laid this SmackDown on them, bringing in the highest rated quarter of the show on SmackDown in Chicago. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. The quarter hour ratings are in for the Blue Brand from Friday night. And of course, we are going to talk about them. And to no surprise, CM Punk was involved in the highest rated quarter with a 2.482 million. Once again, proving all these doubters wrong, proving all these people that just hate on him for some weird, unknown reason wrong. People that claim that he doesn't move the needle, he doesn't move the measuring stick, when he has pretty much proven now in the wrestling world for at least the last, 5 years, since coming back at least, that nobody outside of The Rock can do numbers like this guy can do. We've seen Cena in recent years, unfortunately, lose his appeal. We've seen other guys that just don't really have it anymore. Like, you bring Taker in, you can get like a cheap little pop, but these are all guys that are retired. These are guys that are kind of moving on. The Rock's always going to be up there because he is The Rock. You know, The Rock can come back and people are going to tune in. People are going to be desperate to see him. But other than The Rock, I don't think there's anybody in the wrestling world right now that would bring in numbers like CM Punk can bring in. So we start with quarter one, 8 o'clock to 8:15. It's CM Punk, Paul Heyman live promo, and it does a 2.482 quarter rating, which is the highest SmackDown quarter rating in a long time. Probably the highest, I believe, since the week after WrestleMania. So, yeah, or the second week after WrestleMania. So, a very high quarter, but it's no surprise because this was also the second highest SmackDown show since WrestleMania. The only one that beat this was the SmackDown straight after it. So, no surprise to see a big quarter here. Also in the demo, it did over 1 million, 1.06 to be exact. So, yeah, people tuning in to see CM Punk. What can you say? Hardly a surprise. We go into quarter two, 8:15 to 8:30. We got Punk and Heyman. We got the Bloodline. Cody Rhodes was involved. We got Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Rhodes, Owens, Orton backstage. And then we got Michin versus Green versus Belair. And this went down 4% to 2.393 million. So, obviously, we all know what's happened here. People stayed there until the Punk stuff, until Punk and Heyman were gone. And then when you get the rest of the stuff in the quarter, people have just tuned out. That's the explanation there for the 4% loss. Quarter three, 8:30 to 8:45. Continuation of that title threat match. We get Bayley, Blair, Davenport backstage. And then we get Solo Sikoa backstage with Paul Heyman. And this lost another 8%, which takes the show down to 2.201 million. So, we're half an hour into the show, and since the CM Punk opening quarter, we're down 281,000. So not great. Not great. Moving into quarter four, we get a bit of an increase, plus 5%. It was a Grayson Waller promo, a Drew McIntyre and Punk ramp angle. So this was the attack for Drew McIntyre, or the beatdown. And then we get Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga versus Carmelo Hayes. So this went up 5% to 2.319 million. Again, Punk and McIntyre, best thing going on right now in WWE. No surprise to see an increase. Quarter five, 9 o'clock to 9:15. Orton versus Tonga versus Hayes. And then we get the LA Knight promo, plus 2 here, 2.354. Quarter six, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. It was Knight, Escobar, Logan Paul, live angle. Owens versus Andrade versus Waller took place after that. This goes down 5%. Down to 2.237. Quarter seven though, we're back up 5%, so 5% have tuned back in here. It's Owens, Andrade, Waller, continuation of the match, and then we get Michin and Stratton and Nia Jax backstage of all people. And in quarter eight, the final quarter, it was Solo Sikoa, Heyman backstage, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, and then we got the post-match attack with the brand new debuting Jacob Fatu. This went up 1%. It ended with a 2.365 million. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That is your SmackDown quarter ratings there. CM Punk, Paul Heyman doing the best stuff in the opening quarter. Then it did dip a little bit, bounced up into quarter four. And then after that, it kind of held steady. The only quarter that dipped under 2.3 after quarter 4 was quarter 6, and that had the Knight, Santos, Escobar, Logan Paul angle, and then Owens versus Andrade versus Waller. So, I mean, I think it's no surprise that that is the quarter that dipped under 2.3, because all the other quarters, you know, you had like Bloodline stuff or CM Punk in it, so yeah, not really surprising to see those ratings. But there you go, overall it was a 2.336, it was a decent rating for SmackDown, up almost 400k for last week. CM Punk involved in the highest quarter. I mean, they're probably always now, anytime they go to Chicago, they're going to find an excuse, they're going to find a reason to put CM Punk on the show, because, I mean, it makes sense. It'd be like if SmackDown was going to Glasgow, you would want Drew McIntyre on it, because you just know that he's popular there and it's beneficial to the show. So yeah, maybe it's a reason. Some people are saying, why was he on SmackDown? It's probably the reason that they have to do this is because a lot of people aren't stars. You know, a lot of the roster aren't draws, so therefore when they have to go to someone's like hometown or someone's state or country or whatever, they feel the need to put that person on the show, because the rest of the roster isn't really, you know, doing their job, as John Cena once said. The reason he has to turn up to work is because the rest of the roster can't replace him. They can't do their job, and that's probably why CM Punk had to turn up here on SmackDown in Chicago. So yeah, guys, there you go. That's the quarter ratings. It was a good SmackDown in terms of ratings. It was a decent SmackDown in terms of show quality as well, to be honest. Probably the best SmackDown of the year. If you don't factor in any Rock stuff, it was definitely, I think, the best SmackDown of the year. So yeah, it probably deserved an increase in ratings, and it got it. So yeah, we'll see what happens next week though, without CM Punk being advertised, without Drew McIntyre. People speculating Drew McIntyre could come back. There was also hype of the Wyatt 6 as well, and I think people may have been tuning in to see the aftermath of that from Monday Night Raw. But I mean, going forward, it looks like the Wyatt 6 might just be like a Raw thing, so maybe people will stop tuning into SmackDown for the hope of seeing the Wyatt 6. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see SmackDown, you know, go down again in the ratings over the next couple of weeks. I think we'll see them get closer to that 2 million rating that we seen them get last week, or the 1.9 to be exact. So that's it, guys. Let us know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.